was the start of DIY day 33. And you're kind of watching you could call it a video vlog or blog or whatever it would be. I've been watching some of our old stuff. I posted one yesterday from 16 years ago of our mold of the sea cab being built. That was done in analog by a video person, so it was pretty good. So you're watching me do it, just almost a daily journal, watching kind of the struggle of finding help and getting it, getting stuff built, finding people with cognitive thinking abilities, and just what's our workforce going to look like. And I come up, and this morning my grandkids were building Legos, and they came up with this. I mean, this is pretty unique. They got steering wheels to make a sliding door. This isn't a kit that you just buy and follow the instructions. I don't know where they found these channel pieces, so they found a bunch of horses and decided this is a good thing to do. So I've decided that it would be a good thing. We don't even need highly skilled people with degrees and diplomas and a bunch of letters after their name to teach this class. We could get simple people like grandmas to go in. But from the kindergarten to the third grade, we put the kids in a room, give them maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, and a bunch of Legos. And you just tell them, okay, today we're going to build a horse stable. You can work in groups, you can work by yourself, you can do whatever. But the thinking that went behind that is good training, because if you start young building this kind of stuff, by the time you're a teenager, you're ready to start building cars, and I could use some help today. But we got to build the future starting today. Well, they didn't clean up their stuff from last night, but which is fine. They'll have it cleaned up today, but leaving out. We're in the front room. This is our gymnastics area for the little granddaughters. They like to do their gymnastics and land on the big beanbag, and hopefully they don't fling out the window. That's always a concern. But we bought totes. We have bunches of totes of Legos. Great Christmas present if you buy a kit, or you go online and Marketplace or somewhere like that. Sometimes you can buy a whole bunch of them for a whole lot less. And then we have, let them catch some critters and build their own cages. You don't have to go to the store and buy a cage. Be creative. Let's work with our young people. Although the problem is most of them don't have two parents that are together. They don't even know who their grandparents are. They're lucky if they know their dad. It's a culture mess. Transgender crap and all the rest of it, they're pushing forward and everywhere else. I'm about had enough of it. So, it ain't hot rodding yet, but it is hot rodding. I bet they build cars all the time. Here we go. Look what else we're building. They got their guns. Good thing for the guns. There's another theme. This is a black and white theme here. Oh, we got some red in here. So I guess we are hot rodding. So I think we'll go just step it up a level. Before I go to work though, I gotta do the chores. Feed the koi. Feed the goats. And the horses. Everybody patiently waiting here. Well, maybe not so patiently waiting. I don't get stampeded here by the herd of goats. At least I'm not milking anymore. We're so busy at the shop, I let them all dry up. We'll breed and get going better next season. Patiently waiting for him, some food for him. We'll get all these guys taken care of. I suppose we should check for eggs, feed the chickens. My daughter really thinks pygmies are cute, and we have pygmies. I don't know why. I'm not sure what they're good for. They are kind of cute. So we do have pygmies for sale. We got to sell some of these guys. We got some boys here we don't need. But what I got is a couple of pups. I have Samson and Delilah. They're our Great Pyrenees. They're not old, but they're mature. And they're actually pretty good. So I got these guys. I got Jake and Elwood. Then we got Samson and Delilah. There's Delilah over there. She's just doing her thing, just kick back. I figured what better time than when my other ones and I got Samson. He's out in the big field with the alpines. Get some pups, and the pups can go in training with the mature ones. Now, I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. But we call this is Jake here. There's Elwood. Now, my grandkids couldn't figure it out because they said, well, your other ones have biblical names. They had no clue who Jake and Elwood were. I said, you never seen the Blues Brothers? What is up with that? But I said, Grandpa, the other ones have biblical names. These aren't biblical names. I said, but they're on a mission from God. So I believe I'm going to start my day at Trinity today, laying out Rips tea. I'm going to build that front end and get doing that and showing everybody. We have a pallet of parts. Been waiting on these. This is all kind of trinket parts for motors and stuff, and we really need it. Now we can get Bill's car kind of finished. These have been sitting on the floor for a few days. We got them, but they doesn't come with a packing slip, an invoice, or anything, so we don't even know what's in here. So we've been trying to get the company to tell us what you sent so we can, you know, kind of check it off against what we bought versus what we paid for. So the confidence level in today's world, it's everywhere. I mean, I'm not complaining just about other companies. We have our own issues here, but dang, where's the processes? Where's the procedures? Just to finish up, as I was leaving this morning, we talked about the Lego thing. My grandkids were up. I kind of looked at it, they told me what they were building and all that. And they were excited that I was excited about what they built. And as I was leaving, one of my grandsons said, yeah, today we're going to build a tractor. So they've got plans to build a tractor. How do we get to where we're at? You know, we got a big deal about bullying. Oh, we don't want to bully anybody. We don't bully anybody. How about we start shaming people? How about we shame colleges like Stanford and Harvard and all these places that are charging kids incredible amount of money, giving them nothing of value for their money, guaranteeing the loans through the government with my money when they've got billions of dollars sitting in their endowments. How about they guarantee these loans? They can give the students the loans and they can guarantee it with those endowments. Maybe people will start asking what they're getting for their money. Anyway, here we are in a country that I can't even get an invoice with an order. All right, your daily dose of Daryl here. It looks like you're cutting parts. Production, we're cutting brackets for rear ends. So if you got a rear end on the list and you've been waiting for it, you got a bunch of rear ends to put together.
Yes, I do.
So I got a bunch to do too. So this is all you get of Daryl today. You're looking cool with your glasses on though.
Well, it keeps the eyesight sharp.
Oh, is that what the problem is? Whenever I weld, I can't see for a day or two.
You don't want to stare at that too long, it'll definitely
I wonder if it's burning my camera.
see sparks.
Sparks makes a good video though. I'm doing a drive-by on Eddie here. You know, Daryl has his own spot now.
Yeah.
The daily dose of Daryl.
Daily dose of Daryl.
What do we got for Fast Eddie? Well, you're topping today anyway.
Yeah,
Finishing up the top.
Right on top of things.
Right, you're right on top of things.
Yeah.
The old so-and-so is right on top of things.
Yeah.
All right, production. Okay, good.
Yeah. Something like that.
Get a little bit of this production done so we can get back on the turn sheet.
Yeah. Now don't look at it, you'll get dirty.
I know. Okay, as I was leaving, don't smash it yet.
Oh.
you got a good one? All right.
Yeah.
So it don't fit. It's too skinny.
Yeah.
You can kind of see how
Just
skinny.
cover that.
How
Yeah.
skinny
Well,
that
it goes
is.
around the other way.
Well, whatever. I don't know what I'm
You ain't no poster
I
guy.
probably are.
Yeah, there you go.
So you got the fast fix.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's way too narrow. And so I give it a little thumping, and it's just right.
He's got a hammer in his hand.
Yeah.
So that's a professional way to do it?
Well, that's usually a professional way to do everything, ain't it? You get a bigger hammer.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
I would have never known that. Nobody else would have ever known that had you not just
Oh, okay.
did that as I was
You just
walking
stood there and
by,
witnessed
you're
it.
going,
Yeah.
You're bashing this thing here.
Because you looked at me like, what are you doing? You know?
Oh, what we were talking about is me kicking indoors and taking over.
Yeah. That's right.
You took a hammer.
I got out the hammer.
Yeah, that'll work. So I have spent most of my day getting cars ready. These are all ready to
hotshot driver was supposed to be here today, but there was a wreck and he got delayed. So all of them are going tomorrow. I spent most of my day in the office getting paperwork organized. It's a job. So I didn't answer this. Somebody made a comment. I've talked about this so many times. Either do it or quit talking about it. This is our Model A that I widened. It's kind of my dream car. I spend my day building dreams. So I wanted to build this car for quite a while. I haven't built it yet, but I've got a really good start on it. You can see the shape. It was up in the other building for a while. I've got things a little organized up there. Now I brought it down to the building with the body shop in it. So we all get our dreams. This is my dream car. And I appreciate all you guys, and very few girls. Most of you are really old. I was looking at the analytics and looking at some of our old videos. I actually posted one of the old videos of a building of the sea cab. Most of the people that are going to watch this video are new to the channel. We have our regular viewers. You probably found it on a search engine, YouTube search engine, but the odds are really good that you're just have watched another video right before this one or right after. So people, a lot of them are watching the videos as they just scroll. Looking at my old videos, I did a thing and I totally forgot I did it for quite a while ago. It was called BC's Tips. This is called the DIY, Do-It-Yourself Foreman 40-Day Challenge. And basically what you're doing is you're watching me journal. And I'm doing that. I still got a few more days. And then I'm really working towards getting a video production person here to do projects. There's the Mean Green Machine. We're going to be on that and get it done. I've got Tim's car over there, Insanity. And now we have Insanity, the blown Hemi, Brian's car. So as we do those, I'm going to edit those and put them into projects, and it'll be more of a car thing. But right now you're just watching me journal. And if you don't like me talking about my dream, which is pretty cool, it's got a van roof, but we even widened that. So I added 6 inches, the exact width of that. That's why I added that much. And I hope to get it done at some point. And whether I put it in production or not, I'm almost aggravated enough to go, I'm not even going to produce it. I'm going to make one and it'll be mine. I won't even market it. But I'm not going to do that. We'll build a mold because it's a really cool car. There's not been anything really innovative like that for a while. So I think it'd be an awesome car. So I ain't working on it now because I got so much else to do. But that's my dream car. I'm dreaming. So now I think I'm going to go up and do some assembly on one of the other cars. So I think I'll finish up the program with that for tonight. All right, so this is Rip's T. I think I'll spend a few hours up here, an hour or so anyway, and start assembling at least the front end and start getting it together. Do a quick video of a front end assembly. First thing is kind of lay out the parts, see what you got. This is chrome, so make sure you're using anti-seize. So I'm going to go find some anti-seize before I get too carried away here. So there's no one right way to do this, but what I like to do, I'll go ahead and put the clevises and the rod ends and the hairpins here. I'll go ahead and put the spring onto the axle with the shackles and pivots and everything. Put that together. I'll put the hairpins on the axle, and I'll put the axle up there like that with all at once. Put the bolts into the frame. So we'll start by putting the clevises and the rod ends in here. So I've got my clevises and my rod ends on the hairpins. So I think what I'm going to do next is start building my shackles and put them in the spring. So just start by taking the shackle apart. Actually, it comes apart fairly easy with 2 hands. Pull the bushings out, and I've taken them out of this one. Push the bushings in both sides. Push the bushings in both sides. And go ahead and when you put the shackles back in, make sure you put both sides in the same direction. Put both sides in the same direction. Got it in the spring, got it in the pivot. Put the cap back on, and absolutely make sure you put some anti-seize on there before you tighten them down, because this chrome has a tendency, and especially the pivots are stainless steel, especially on the stainless steel. Shackles and pivots are installed. You can see that anti-seize is kind of messy. We can clean that up. And what I want to do, I'm going to cut this end of this bolt off. Once I get it done, it's kind of in the way, and I put that towards the axle because I want this side aiming to the back. That way when the tie rod, or the drag link, I mean, goes back and forth, that's almost like a stop on there. So I want all the space I can get. That extra, almost a ½ inch there, will affect the steering. But there's a problem. I'm not sure what kind of shocks it gets. So I'm going to have a different bracket here if it gets, whether it gets friction shocks or gas shocks. So I'm going to have to go get some paperwork and make sure before I say this is done. So I checked the paperwork, and it gets chrome shorty shocks. So you can kind of see it gets a little bit different shackle bracket on the outside there. So good thing I checked. Time to change them. So you can see the difference between the two. That's where the shock mounts, and then this would just be your plain shackle. So I've got everything snugged up. I don't have it tight. I want it loose a little bit because I may need to swing this a little bit once I get it on. I can tighten everything after it's all together, and definitely be systematic once it's all together as you tighten things up. I've got the radius rods ready to go. You can kind of see I've got about the same threads everywhere. You shouldn't have to adjust them if they're all the same, about like that. But I'll show you another key thing you don't want to miss as we put these onto the car. But I'm going to put them on the axle first. This is the way I like to do it. I stick the bolts in from the outside, and that's the inside. It looks cleaner that way. On the Spirit car, I've got, instead of a bolt on the lower radius rod, I've got this bracket that just goes through like a bolt. Otherwise, put the bolt there, put a nut on this side. What'll happen, this is your bracket. Your panhard goes from here to the bottom, and I call this the banana piece, but it's what holds the spring up. It goes up under the spring here and connects there. So it's a Spirit design. So I don't know if this one was supposed to be chrome or not, but it needs to be chrome, so I didn't even look. I just got a chrome one. You can see here how it's already attached. I've got that piece on that side with the bracket. Comes across to the little banana piece, and there it is. Your panhard just bolts right on. I've got my nuts on. Ours is a coarse thread, and these are fine thread chrome bolts. And this is coarse, so I need to go get a coarse nut. But main thing, in case I haven't mentioned it, make sure you use anti-seize. So let's go ahead and stick this thing up there. So I've got the spring bolted up to the spring perch. I don't have it super tight, but everything's pretty tight. Now I can go ahead and lift my radius rods and put them into the hole on the bracket on the frame. All right, so there you have it. I have a front end hanging. It's already kind of late in the day. I gotta go spend a few hours up in the glass shop when Eric gets here. I'll grab something to eat first. So I think tomorrow I'll go ahead and put the spindles on, some of the stuff like that. Maybe start putting the rear end together. But anyway, there's how you have the, oh, I need to paint the towers. So this gets shock towers like this. Will need to be bolted onto the frame. So I better get them painted in the morning. So that'll be it for tonight. I think I'm heading to the house and get something to eat.